Hey guys, how's it going? Sliq here, and today I want to talk to you about Destiny 2, specifically the removal of Titan scaling. Now in my previous video, that seemed to be a pretty hot topic button issue. What the fuck? Hot topic? What the fucking... Yes, you go to Hot Topic and you buy a button that says Titan scaling on it. I'm a dipshit. A hot button topic. Jesus Christ. You wearing a Misfits t-shirt and a studded bracelet too? You fucking idiot. It's a hot button topic. I brought it up just in comparison of Super Smash Bros. Melee, the jump to Brawl, where they removed all the advanced techniques such as wave dashing, L canceling, dash dancing, etc. I compared that to Titan skating and Warlock surfing in Destiny to Destiny 2. And a lot of people voiced their opinion of liking the change of the removal of Titan skating and being glad that it's gone, but I felt like a lot of the reasons for their dislike of it were kind of asinine. And so I want to talk about kind of, the reasoning behind that they had and kind of rebut some of the things they were saying, because I feel like the removal of Titan skating, really it's not like a positive. If anything, it's just kind of, a lateral movement. So first thing a lot of people were saying was that it was unintended, which is entirely true. Bungie came out and said, yeah, we didn't do this on purpose. It's just an accidental thing that happened. And you could make the argument that, it's clearly unintended because they removed it from Destiny 2. But their intent is completely irrelevant when it comes to quality, just the bottom line. Everybody intends to make a good thing. An author writes a book, he intends for it to be a good book. Musician writes a song, he intends for it to be a good song. Artist makes a painting, they intend for it to be a good painting. But just because they intend for what they make to be good, doesn't mean that it happens. Look at No Man's Sky. I'm sure the developers behind that intended for the game to be awesome, but it fucking wasn't. It was a big piece of shit. So Bungie's intent is completely irrelevant. Furthermore, plenty of really great things were made entirely on accident. Wine and penicillin are the two that I'm going with right now. But some asshole's like, oh shit, the fucking grapes! And he runs over the barrel, and the grapes are all juice and fucking fermented, and he's like, oh shit, now what am I gonna do? Well, I can't let these grapes go to waste, and smash cut to an hour later, he's like, I don't wanna work, I just wanna bang on his drum all. They just kicking fucking silverware and shit all over the place back in the fucking year 2000 BC or whenever the fuck wine was invented. So wine entirely invented on accident, 100%. Does wine suck because it was invented on accident? Should we not drink wine because nobody intended for wine to be No, that's stupid. That's asinine. Same with penicillin. It saved a whole bunch of lives. Just because something's accidental doesn't mean it can't be awesome. And that's where we get with Titan skating. Just because Bungie didn't intend for Titan skating to be in the game doesn't mean it's shit. Because plenty of great things have been made entirely on accident. And in this case, I think Titan skating is one of those things. I think it was a beautiful mistake. Next up, some people have a problem with Titan skating in terms of theming. Like, they have this weird headcanon where they lock into, the tankiest class in the game shouldn't be the fastest class in the game.
Why? Who says?
What does it matter? Like, according to whom? I think that they're kind of basing this off of Bungie's intent. Because one, they removed it from Destiny 2. And two, if you look at the stats, Titans start with the most armor. Warlocks start with the most recovery. Hunters start with the most agility. You go, aha! Hunters have the most agility. Clearly they're supposed to be the fast class. Well, first up, agility and speed are two entirely different things. A Japanese bullet train, magnet train, can go hundreds of kilometers per hour. That shit's fucking fast. I certainly wouldn't say a train is very agile, would you? It can only go along the fucking track. Like, if there's a big fucking thing in the middle of the road, like, I guess I'm hitting that. Train's not agile, but it is certainly fucking fast. Motorcycle, not nearly as fast as that train, but it's way more agile. You can zip in between cars and shit, you can take tight turns, you can go into tight areas. Motorcycle's fucking agile. In this analogy, the Titan is the train, and the Hunter is the motorcycle. I got another analogy for you. Spider-Man is agile as shit. That motherfucker is nimble. He's doing all sorts of crazy acrobats shit, swinging from webs. He's an agile motherfucker. Superman is fast as fuck. He raced the Flash. Now, of course, the Flash was sandbagging, but still, Spider-Man ain't racing the Flash. Not a million years. It's not even close. You kidding me? Superman is fast as fuck, but he's not agile. He's bulky shit, and he's really clumsy. He's fucking shitty at fighting. He really is. The only reason he kicks so much ass is because he's near impervious to damage and he's strong and fast. Anybody who's at his level who knows how to fight at all whoops his ass. Wonder Woman whooped his ass in Injustice. Fucking he dies whenever fucking Doomsday kills him, right? Because he's garbage at fighting. He's just fast and strong. So Spider-Man is agile, but not fast. And Superman's fast, but not agile. In this instance, the analogy is Spider-Man is hunters, and Titans are Superman. Do you see where I'm going with this? Furthermore, there's absolutely nothing wrong with somebody being tanky and fast at the same time. That's a trope. That exists all over the place, in movies, in fucking comic books, fucking manga and anime. A lot of people's, oh, what's your superpower? I'm fast and strong. Oh, that's cool, I teleport. Oh, that's neat, I'm fast and strong. That shit's all over the place. That's fucking, yeah, of course. This shit makes sense, and it's been around forever. So let's look at some examples. First off, in Overwatch, Reinhardt is a tank, and he's designated as such. And he doesn't have any move that moves him really fast in a straight line. Oh wait, that's fucking right, he totally does. He has a rocket charge, where he's one of the tankiest characters in the game, but he moves really fast in a straight line. He can actually move faster than Genji. Over distance. That's weird, I thought Genji was the fast character. Oh, could it be that speed is different than agility? Like I just fucking said 2 seconds ago? Let's look at Winston. He's a tank, right? Oh, he's got a super jump that makes him fly across America. Oh my god. But how could he be tanky and fast at the same time? It makes no sense. Let's look at Diva. Oh wait, she's got a rocket thruster where she can fly around. Wait a minute, you're telling me that a tank is fast and tanky at the same time? Oh, I should go really tell Blizzard that what they're doing is fucking stupid, because clearly they don't know how to build a game. Oh wait, that's right. Because this weird headcanon and this weird intent that you have is completely irrelevant when it comes to fun and quality. But those are Overwatch. That's a different game though. It's not as if Bungie literally gave Stryker Headstrong, and part of the perk is that they sprint faster when it's equipped.
But if Titans are supposed to be slow and tanky, why the fuck would Bungie give them ability that makes them faster? Oh no.
So this whole headcanon that people have, like tank, what people are locked into this MMO RPG, like tank must be slow. It's like, no, you don't, it doesn't have to be. The only reason tank must be slow is if it's imbalanced. I'm gonna get that to in a second. But from where I'm sitting at, the classes all make sense to me personally. I'm looking at it from an RPG standpoint. You got Titans are the warriors. You got Warlocks are the mages, and Hunters are the rogues. Makes perfect sense to me. Titans are like the fucking, the warriors, they're just running in bare-chested with a fucking battle axe, fucking just going crazy, swinging all over the place, like taking an arrow to the shoulder, ripping that shit out, and fucking just smashing faces, right? They're in the front lines, whooping ass. That's Titans. They're just, you skate at somebody, you get in their face, and you whoop their ass. Warlocks are built around magic, their abilities. Their abilities are the best in the game. They got the best melee in the game. They have the longest reach. Thunder Snipe, right? Amplitude, best melee ability in the game. Axiom Bolt's very powerful grenade ability. Very good at grenade ability. A lot of people rank that shit highly. Back in year 1, Sunsinger, Touch of Flame Viking Feudal Sunsinger with Firebolts. Flame Shield. You're telling me those aren't good abilities? Warlocks are all built around their abilities. Right? That's just how they are. Warlocks are the mages. Alright, so let's go to Hunters. I want to spend a little bit of time on this one. Let's go to Hunters. They're the rogues. You know, thieves, assassins, you know, ninja class, things like that. Alright, so let's start. Blade Dancer. Invisibility. That seems like something a rogue would do. Seems something like a thief would do. Turn invisible. Backstab. Assassination technique. Yeah, that sounds like a rogue to me. That certainly sounds like a rogue. What else we got? Quick draw. Oh yeah, no, they're very dexterous. You know, thieves are very good at things like pickpocketing, picketing locks and stuff. They're very dexterous. So yeah, that makes sense to be able to switch weapons really fast. What else we got? Gunslinger. Wait, a trip mine. Wait, you're gonna lay a trap. That's pretty cunning. Ooh, that's devious. That's rogue all the way. A throwing knife? Who else is gonna fucking throw a knife besides a rogue? The fucking warrior's not throwing a knife. He's overhead throwing his battle axe into an orc's chest, pulling it out, and then doing a 360 spin and decapitating everybody in a circle. The rogue is the one throwing the fucking throwing knife. That's who's doing that shit. He's also the one planning the trap. All right, what else we got? Oh, Night Stalker. Smoke bomb, huh? Vanish in smoke, huh? Ooh, wow, that seems like something a rogue would do. Like, pa pa pa, and then he just disappears. That's crafty shit. That's cunning. Invisibility. Rogue. Envenomed. Yeah, poison. That sounds exactly like something a rogue would do. They would use poison. I mean, they could use a poison blade. I mean, in this instance, it's an incendiary blade, but it kind of gets the same point across, doesn't it? What else we got? You know, what's the other one? The one that acts like a trap. I don't remember what that one's called. Snare. The snare for your smoke bomb. We already covered traps, though. That's pretty sneaky, sis. You little rogue, you. What else we got? Also, Predator makes Shadow Shot a trap. So yeah, they're pretty crafty, all things considered. Rogues. Oh, let's not forget Shade Step. Traditionally, rogue classes are built around agility, dexterity, and about dodging attacks as opposed to tanking them. So it would make sense that they had Shade Step to allow them to avoid damage. So, you know, Titans are tanking it directly in their face because they got high strength, high endurance. They're not that agile. They're not that dexterous. They're just fucking swinging, doing big damage. So from where I'm sitting at, all the classes make fucking perfect sense to me. So if you want to lock the classes into this weird headcanon, that's fine, but just know that the game shouldn't be designed around that, because it doesn't intrinsically make it more fun or interesting. Next up is balance. I mentioned that previously. You can't have the tankies class be the fastest because that's imbalanced, which is patently untrue. Titans have historically not been the best class in Destiny. Year 1, Sunsinger and Blade Dancer were both better. A Sunsinger with Touch of Flame, Viking Feudal, Firebolts, and Flame Shield, with just standard longest melee range in the game. At that time, Hunters and Titans both had the same melee range, which was 50% shorter, not 50%, 67 point, yeah, 2/3 the distance of fucking Warlocks. Warlocks had 50% more melee range. So Sunsinger had more melee range, overshield on hit, tracking grenade that would burn for like 167 damage over the course of 7 seconds. Very powerful combination. Titan Scaning's nowhere in there. That's weird. That's weird that Titan Scaning's nowhere in there, despite the fact that Titan Skating is supposedly overpowered. Next up, Blade Dancer. They had Year 1 Blink. Oh, Year 1 Blink was a fucking nightmare to deal with. Year 1 Blink was really fucking good. You had some iframes on that shit. Your weapons were ready fast. Blink Shotgun kind of was running rampant. Blink was very good on Blade Dancer, especially when you paired that with Quick Draw, which is, people have argued for the longest time, is the best neutral game perk in the entire game. You know, Blade Dancers have Blink and Quick Draw, very good. Arc Bolts, very powerful. They're not as good as Firebolts, but they're still good. They still did a lot of damage. They were still really easy to use, just without the burn effect. So, and also, of course, you still had Front Stab, where you get free one-hit kill, boom, I'm the greatest. And at the time, Arc Blade was a fucking nightmare to deal with. This was back when it was pretty much the only roaming super outside of Sunsinger, and they were really, really difficult to deal with back then. So the two best classes were Sunsinger and Arc Blade, then probably maybe Voidwalker and Striker in the same kind of package. Year 1, Strikers, you know, weren't the best class, so how could Skating be overpowered? If other classes were better, why would you nerf the middle-tiered class? That makes no sense. That's like nerfing Bad Juju. What? Like, Bad Juju is middle tier. There are way better weapons. Why would you nerf the middle of the pack and not the best? Anyways, that was Year 1. That was Year 1. Also, by the way, Defender, absolute trash Year 1. There was a whole bunch of problems with Defender. They've only buffed Defender as time has gone on. Year 1, Defender sucked a dick. How is that possible? Defender has Titan Skating. How could Defender be so bad when it has the overpowered Titan Skating? And that's, of course, because Titan Skating isn't overpowered. You know, as it went on, introduces new classes, etc. Night Stalker for a while was really powerful whenever you couldn't jump out of the smoke grenade and the wombo just would fuck your ass. But let's talk about current meta. Current meta, the best classes are Voidwalker and Stormcaller. Voidwalker, Axiom Bolts are very, very good. The extended melee range, still very good. Energy Drain gives you more grenades faster, very good. Nova Bomb, it's a better version of Fist of Havoc. You don't have to put yourself in harm's way in order to use it. Fist of Havoc, you gotta get close. Nova Bomb, you really don't have to. So if you're really trying to stop a Storm Trance, it's a little bit easier with Nova Bomb because you can just kind of, oh, there he is, and just fucking throw it at him, as opposed to having him to be right on your asshole. Same thing with things like Golden Gun, etc. Stormcaller is very powerful, just because, one, its super is immensely powerful, but mostly it's amplitude melee. That shit is ridiculously strong, and that's why they're very powerful. Now, don't get me wrong, Strikers are up there. Striker's probably number 3 in my opinion, followed by Night Stalker. But still, Striker is not considered the best class in the game. It's a very good class, but it's not the best class in the game. Once again, Why nerf the not best class in the game? That seems kind of pointless. That's like kind of nerfing, I don't know, Mida multi-tool in this current meta, you know, that's still kind of ruled by, you know, palindrome mid-impact hand cannons. It seems kind of asinine to nerf the not best thing, because there's no point. Why would you nerf the not best thing? Why wouldn't you nerf the best thing to bring it more in line with all the other stuff and buff the not best stuff, right? In the current meta, in tournament level play, Defender and Sunbreaker never really see any use. The only use they saw, it was because Defender could generate a bunch of orbs, and not because of Titan scaling. And so the banning of the Gift of the Void kind of made Defender basically never used in tournament play, and Sunbreaker's in the same boat. When in most teams you're going to see are running some combination of Voidwalker, Stormcaller, Striker, Night Stalker, or Blade Dancer. Very rarely will you see any of the other classes, just because they're just not as good. And so what you have here is that traditionally and historically, Titan scaling has never been overpowered because Titans have never been the best class. In order for Titan scaling to be overpowered, wouldn't they kind of have to be? Next up, the only time Titans were ever the best class in the game was when Sunbreaker first launched, and Hammer of Soul was ridiculously powerful. The explosions were massive, they were easy to land, and you would always heal your health back every single time with Cauterize. They were monsters. They were monsters not because of Titan skating, they were monsters because of the super, because the super was ridiculous. Of course, Bungie wasted no time. They're like, no, Titans can't be the best class in the game. 3 months time later, boom, Sunbreaker's nerfed, back to Warlock City for us. So the whole notion that Titan skating is overpowered is incorrect, because traditionally the best classes have been Warlocks. You can just, and also Hunters with Blade Dancer. Over time, Blade Dancers has gotten the nerf hit on them time and time again, brutally, I might add. But Titans, for the most part, have really only gotten buffs, and that's because Titans were weaker than the other classes, despite the fact that they had Titan skating. But Sliq, I don't care about tournament level players. I don't care about those guys. Bungie doesn't either. They're not looking at the 1%, they're looking at the huge people in the middle, the average gamer. That's who they got a design for. The problem with bouncing around middle tier players is that all of their problems could be fixed. All their problems could be solved by simply getting good. You have a good player shitting on a middle tier player, an average player. It doesn't matter what strategy the better player employs. He's gonna destroy the middle tier player regardless. But the middle tier player sees the strategy he's using and uses that as a scapegoat. If it wasn't for X, this guy, I would be beating this guy, which is patently untrue. Because if you nerf X, that guy just stops using X and uses whatever else and continues to shit all over the guy. So basically, to see where really the holes in gameplay are, you have to keep sliding down the skill level until you get to the best players in the world. Because at this level, getting good no longer solves your problem, because you can't get any better. Middle tier player will lose to stupid bullshit and get mad about it, but really all of his problems will be solved by getting better. If he was a better player, none of that shit would have happened. But eventually, when you get to the best players in the world, you can literally not get any gooder. And that's where the balance issues, the design issues, the holes in the game start to become prominent. Because if the best players in the world have a problem dealing with X, then you can go, alright, there might be a problem with X because these guys are really good. They can't get any better than these guys. So it could be that X is intrinsically overpowered. If I go like if you Ramblin' made a video where you 1v3 some people in trials, right? He beat them pretty badly. Now, it's not because what he was using was overpowered, it's because his opponents were just not that good. No offense to his opponents. There are way worse things you could be bad at than video games. All things considered, being bad at video games is one of the best things you can be bad at. Because that means that you're great at something that actually matters. Right? Being a good husband, being a good friend, being a good brother, being a good, doctor, artist, etc. You should be bad at video games and be good at other things. Like, that's where you should be at. And you should be happy it's that way. So don't get upset if, you're like, oh, he's saying I'm a bad player. You should be happy, because that means you're great at something else. But bad players lose to stupid shit, and a good player is going to be a bad player regardless of the strategy employed. So looking at that dynamic for balance is fucking worthless. You look at the best players in the world. If the best player is in the world can't beat X, well then X might be a problem. And that's not to say you can't look at middle tier players and compare people of equal skill and see, alright, what's working here and what's not working. But really, the pinnacle of the gameplay is with the best players. So if you look at that, you got to look at what affects that, and you can look in the middle and go, all right, you know, there's a problem. Like, for example, in Overwatch. Genji was not really ever a problem at higher level competitive play in tournaments, but he still got a nerf. What they nerfed was his wall run. Normally you get a double jump, and if you wall run, you could jump off the wall, which essentially give you triple jump. Well, they nerfed that because Genji was too hard of a carry in kind of the middle tiers where the good players but not the great players exhibited, where people would pick Genji all the time and kind of hard carry. And so they made that minor nerf, specifically not because of the high end, because of the middle ground. However, the impact on the high end was very minimal. All things considered, it was a minimal impact on the high end, but it had a major impact in the middle tier. And that's the kind of balance you should really strive for. You should look to the best players in the world, because those are the ones that are telling you what's overpowered and what's not. Because you can't solve the problem by getting good anymore. Looking at middle tier players, just get good. Oh, I got killed by an X, just get good, and then that won't happen. Oh, I got killed by Y, just get good, that won't happen. You keep moving. I got killed by Z, just get good, and that won't happen. And then eventually, you can't move any further this way because you're the best players in the world. And right there, that's where you look for how to design your game and how to fix it. The problem with designing between the dynamic of good player versus bad player is that, like, alright, we got to keep this from happening. Is that if you design the game in such a way where you kind of push the skill gap closer and closer together, what happens is you make a shittier game. You make a shittier game. A game with a high skill gap is what you want, especially if the game is about competitive PvP. You want a game with a high skill gap, because the more condensed the skill gap is, the more the outcome is less on your own personal talent and more on outside factors like luck. And it's just unrewarding to win a game that you feel was based on luck. It's just not that fun. That's why there's no competitive fucking Mario Party. It's a fun, goofy, who gives a shit party game, but nobody takes that shit seriously. It's not that engaging to win just on a fucking fluke. That's why a game with a high skill gap is good. And I think Destiny 1 hit the stride, and just with a little bit more effort could have really just fucking blasted everybody's ass open. Because they have the perfect combination of easy to learn, difficult to master that I've ever seen in a game. Titan skating. Smashing the fucking A button. I can match the A button. You can mash the A button. But that's all it is. But you have to kind of learn the rhythm, you gotta learn the muscle memory, then you gotta kind of learn routes and stuff. Where I'm good at the game. I'm not great, I'm good. But if you compare my Titan skating to A.E. Gabriel's Titan skating, it's just a fucking league's different. He's a master. It's ridiculous the skill gap between me, who's good at the game, and somebody who's great at the game. And if you compare my skating to somebody who's average, there's another skill gap, and that's wonderful. Skating, all things considered, is relatively simple to do, but difficult to master. And it creates a massive skill gap, which is fucking what you want for a competitive PvP experience. It's great. Blink is in a similar boat. Just hit A twice. You just hit A twice and you blink. That's the penultimate of easy to pick up. But there is still a huge difference between a good player using blink and a bad player just running at you and trying to warrior you. Near the end of its game, its life cycle, when blink was still good, I was learning how to beat it by people who was using badly. They run at blink it, you just run and slide underneath them, and they'll be like, blah, blah, and then you shoot them in the back. A good player won't fall for that shit. A good player will go, oh, he slides underneath me, I'm gonna blink and turn around in midair. But bad players, they don't think ahead like that. And that's why, and then it just kind of, what happened was, bad players were getting shit on by good players using blink, and bad players were also kind of getting shit on bad players by using blink. So they kind of did have to make some adjustments, but I think they buried blink a little bit too deep. But all things considered, if Bungie kind of bases their game on the middle tier, and they condense the skill gap, it's going to be an unsatisfying experience. What you want is, you want this massive skill gap because it leaves you a huge amount of room to improve. It also gives you a reason to improve. Improvement is fucking fun. Why do you think that you level up in shit in RPGs or even in fucking Destiny? Why even? Because improving is fun. That's why they put that shit in the game. Why do you think Overwatch and Counter-Strike Global Offensive have ranking systems? Because it's fun to see, oh look, last season I was platinum, this season I'm diamond. It's fun to see the fucking improvement. But if the more you condense the skill gap, the less you have incentive to improve. Why even improve? I'm doing good, I'm doing kind of good as is, as a shitty asshole. Why even try to get better if my improvement's only gonna move me a fucking cunt's hair to the right, to, like, what's about? And then you just give up because it's just not that engaging anymore. Who gives a shit? Improvement is fun, and having a massive skill gap allows for huge growths and improvement. It's fun, good shit, that's what you want. So what you don't want is you don't want to balance around the dynamic of middle tier player versus god tier player to try to condense it, because in the end what you get is a less satisfactory experience. What you get is something that's just not as fun or as interesting. But that's just my piece I want to speak about. It's fine if you don't specifically like Titan skating personally. Your opinion can't be wrong. Your opinion can't be wrong. If you don't like Titan skating personally, fine. I get it, that's fine. But the reasons of it wasn't intended, the headcanon that tanks are supposed to be slow, the notion that's overpowered when it never was, and the notion that bad players can't deal with it, well, their problems would be solved by getting better, and that's not how you balance a game, because what you end up getting with is a hunk of shit with no skill gap that's just not satisfactory to play. Anyways, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna go. My wife's on the phone right now. I'm gonna go fucking headbutt her and then fucking kick her down the stairs because she's ruining my recording. I'm gonna see you guys later, alright? Fucking, I don't know, shit in your own mouth.